It's Sunday, July 28th, 2024. Up here in Big Bear, we're getting away a little bit from the heat. Right now probably mid 60s. Went down to about 51 last night. I think it's going to be about 75 today. Beats the 120 we're having in the desert, so we hopped up here to Big Bear for a couple days. I do apologize, it is a little windy, so hopefully it's not distorting the audio too bad. But a few things I want to talk about today, and stay tuned to the second half of this video. I did a short interview with Coach Lionel, my boxing coach, just talking to him about life and just making the point, ladies and gentlemen, don't quit. Do not quit. Everybody's feeling the pain. Everybody is feeling some amount of pain with this economy, but we cannot quit. So stay tuned to the rest of the video. Check that out. But as we're up here in Big Bear, some of the workers out here call it a day at Disney, because a lot of people that come up to Big Bear now don't stay here for the weekend. They come up here for a day and they go home because they cannot afford the hotels, they can't afford the Airbnbs. So a lot of people now just call it a day at Disney up here, and so the place will be very, very crowded in the daytime, and then by 10 o'clock at night it's a ghost town. It's really, really weird. Last night we grabbed something to eat, had a beautiful dinner, and by 10 o'clock, downtown Big Bear was literally a ghost town. So, I don't know, the data on the numbers here in Big Bear, but I did look at some of the Airbnb numbers. Big Bear has seen a 110% increase in new Airbnb listings year over year. Hey, Nugget. Average occupancy rate, 35%. Average revenue, $20.5 thousand per year. So you're going to see, I think, more people that went into the Airbnb business. They're going to be living a nightmare here because they're just not making money. The occupancy rates aren't high enough. The average rate was $131 per night. But I got to say this, as we were out last night, the restaurants, super, super busy, packed. People are no doubt out spending money, but the question is, how are they doing it? What are they using to do it? And of course, most of you know, it's a result of credit cards. So, if you didn't really follow the data, if you weren't really paying attention to what was going on, and you went out to dinner last night like we did, you would think that things were booming because the town was busy. But by 10 o'clock, everything is gone. And you can see the amount of people using credit cards, 23+%. But again, if you don't follow what's going on, if you're not really following the data, if you don't look at where credit card debt is today, you would just think everything is fine. But it's not. People are going deeper and deeper in debt to have a day at Disney. I was reading an article this morning from The Hedge. Credit card delinquency rate hits 12-year high. I think we talked about this about a week or two ago. People are no doubt being crushed by the elevated inflation, the high interest rates, as the U.S. national debt soars by $1 trillion every 100 days. But it's not stopping people from having a good time. It is absolutely amazing how people are fighting inflation, how they're fighting the collapsing economy. They're going to continue to fight it as long as they have access to debt, access to credit cards. They're going to continue to fight this thing. Many people are not preparing. Instead, they're going out to dinner, they're going out to lunch, they're taking a weekend trip. But look, there's people that just say, look, we'll go up for the day, we'll have lunch, we'll have dinner, but we're not going to stay overnight, we're not going to get an Airbnb, we're not going to get a hotel. And so people are cutting things out like that. And then there's people that just can't even afford to be coming up here and be spending $50 or $100 on dinner, and they're doing it anyways. They're just going to ride this thing all the way down to the bottom. We look at the working poor, we look at the middle class, absolutely decimated, extremely damaged, and now the pain is beginning to creep higher into higher income classes. And this thing is not going away, ladies and gentlemen. They can tell us how wonderful things are in the economy. They can tell us that inflation is slowing down. It's not really going down. It's just going up slower. But interest rates will not fall fast enough to bail you out of a bad situation. And as I see people up here nonchalant, just spending money, and look, some people have money. We can all agree on that. There are people that have money, but 80% of this country is living paycheck to paycheck. That to me means they don't have money. But those people are the ones that are spending money, going out to eat, they're taking weekend trips, they're buying things they probably shouldn't be. Look, everybody has free will. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just a guy with a camera and a microphone talking out loud today, just expressing my thoughts. When you look at the data, when we look at these official numbers, 78% of U.S. workers are living paycheck to paycheck. How in the world do these people afford going out to eat or taking weekend trips? They can't, other than the use of a credit card. And they're putting themselves in a very, very dangerous, a very, very bad situation. Another one from the Hedge. FedEx to cut domestic flight activity by 60%. FedEx plans to significantly slash daily flights and the number of U.S. cities served by air during daytime when its air cargo contract with the U.S. Postal Service expires on September 29th. This will result in significant pay cuts for pilots and senior managers. So more than likely, you're going to see a lot of pilots lose their jobs with FedEx. Already they're paying their pilots less. There are less assignments. There's less cargo. Another sign of what's happening in the U.S. economy. And these are very good paying jobs. Every day it's somebody else losing a job. It's more layoffs. It's more cutting the fat to save the margins. And nobody is immune from losing a job. Nobody. You've got to, instead of going out to dinner, if you can afford it, great. God bless you. If you can't, you need to be doing whatever you can right now to be putting reserves away. Myself personally, zero debt. Everything paid for. All I do now is stack cash, stack metals, and wait this thing out to see how it's going to play out. So, if I want to go to dinner, I can pay for it cash. I don't use credit cards very, very rarely unless I have to rent a car or a hotel room. But typically, 90% of the time, I'm paying cash. And if I want to buy something, I can do it. I have cash reserves put away and I have zero debt. And when you have no debt, and I'm not sitting here bragging, I'm sitting here telling you that you need to be doing the same thing, or at least getting your debts very manageable. Because if you don't, the deeper this economy falls into the abyss, the harder it is going to be for you to get out of debt. The harder it is going to be for you to survive. Heaven forbid you or a spouse loses a job. It is literally now taking more than 2 incomes to survive at this point. So I'm not sitting here berating anybody. I'm not sitting here belittling anybody. I'm not sitting here bragging. I want everybody to survive this thing. I want people to prosper. I want people to take advantage of opportunities. Most of all, I want people to be prepared. Prepared for the unknown. Here's another one from CNBC. Stocks soar. Dow Jones closes 650 points higher, buoyed by bullish inflation report. So the PCE, Personal Consumption Index, rose 0.1% and 2.5% from a year ago, in line with estimates. The annual rate showed a slight decline. Positive inflation news has lifted investor hopes. It says right here, for more rate cuts this year. More rate cuts, plural. They're expecting more than one. So this is how and why the markets are going up. It's all on the hopium that we're going to see rate cuts. Not a rate cut, but rate cuts. And I still am very reluctant to say that we're going to see rate cuts this year. Possibly one. I don't think it's going to be any more than that. If that, I still believe they're going to have a very, very difficult time justifying even one cut. But markets are pricing it in right now. The hopium is alive and well. The euphoria is out there. And the markets love it. And all it will do when they do, and they will eventually cut rates. Could be the end of this year, could be next year. When they do, expect a lot more inflation, expect metal prices to rise. Here's another one from CNBC. Student loan payments are on pause for millions. Are your bills on pause? Is your debt on pause? No, you got to pay it. But if you have student loan debt, you may not have to. The U.S. Department of Education is planning federal student loan borrowers enrolled in the president's new income-driven repayment plan known as SAVE into administrative forbearance. Eligible borrowers in the repayment plan will not have to make any payments on their debt while the break lasts, and interest will not be accrued during this period. So it's very, very fascinating that some people have to pay their debts, others don't. I just believe that if you signed it on the bottom line, the dotted line, and you agreed to pay this debt back, you should be paying this debt back. The American people, the taxpayer, should not be paying your debts. Next, we'll be paying people's mortgages. Maybe we'll be paying people's rents. Maybe we'll be making people's car payments. At the end of the day, somebody has to pay for this. And if these people aren't paying for it, we are paying for it. And I think it's sickening. I think it should be extremely illegal. It repulses me to think that we have to pay, while we go to work, we have to pay for other people's mistakes, other people's debts. And what have these people been doing for years while they're not paying their debts? We've been hearing about all these jobs, 11.8 million jobs out there. Jobs are plentiful. Well, why aren't these people getting a job? I don't care where they get a job at. They could get a job at McDonald's making $18, $20 an hour. Out here in California, making $20 an hour. You go to Panda Express, I heard they're paying up to $24 an hour just to get people in at Panda Express here in California. Why couldn't these people go and get a couple of these jobs and pay their debts back? Why do we have to do this? Why is this? Why are we seeing another forbearance here? I totally disagree with it. I think it should be banned. I think it should be completely illegal. Let me know your thoughts on any of this. But times are going to get much tougher, ladies and gentlemen. All I can advise today is don't quit. Hustle as much as you can. Get the debts paid down. Work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever you got to do. If the debts are manageable, if the debts are paid off, then you need to be raising as much capital right now and building up the war chest. I'm going to leave it there today. Comment on anything. Watch the remainder of this video. I'm talking to Coach Lionel. He had a bad month last month too. I think a lot of people can relate that if you work for yourself, you're seeing the ups and the downs with your businesses. Don't quit. Keep fighting. Don't give up. God bless. Watch the rest of the video. So we just got finished with an excruciating workout, well over 100 degrees today. Lionel just pushes us to the breaking point without a doubt. But I know you're not here to listen to me talk about my workouts. But over the last couple days, I've been out with friends out in Riverside County, San Diego County, and I'll tell you, people are certainly feeling the pain. We all talked about like how businesses are really pulling back right now. People are spending less money. Are you seeing that right now? What are your eyes seeing right now regarding the local economy right here?
I have the worst. This is my worst summer I've ever had in like 10 years doing this job.
Worst summer?
So, yeah, I'm making like 50% less this summer. People are not spending as much. They're not going out to eat as much. People are just staying home. People just kind of stay home now. People are kind of like homebodies. What are you doing this weekend? I'm gonna stay home and
when you say
drink and watch a movie.
They're drinking, they're eating cheap food. Yeah. They're going to McDonald's.
They're just doing the same thing in a cheaper way.
And it's very bad for their health. I mean, especially somebody like you who's in great shape. We see McDonald's extending their $5 meal with all those preserves, all that garbage, and that's what people now have to eat.
It like motivates you to stay home and do nothing because it's so easy. It's so much easier to get off work. It's hot. It's 120. Get some McDonald's, lock yourself in the cold bedroom, and that's easy work.
And what's that going to do to their health?
Absolutely nothing good. Just bad. All bad. It's just going to make you into a couch potato. It's going to give you brain fog, no motivation, lower testosterone,
obesity,
9 yards, obesity, diabetes,
cancer, all
depression. Depression is probably the worst one, I would say.
So, I think the word today is negativity. Get positive. Don't be negative. Don't be lazy, sitting on the couch. These are tough times. but it doesn't take a lot to just get up and be moving.
You have little goals.
Health is an incredible asset, right? Let's talk assets. We talk about gold, silver, putting cash away, you know, the food, the water, but you got to have your body optimized. I've told people many, many times, as things get worse, this is the most important time to get into shape, to optimize your health. What would you say to that?
I would say 100%, because not only that, the body can't be bought. I mean, sure, you could, you know, get surgeries, get your fat sucked out, you can get fake muscles now, but it's still not, you still can't buy the actual cardio, you can't buy the actual strength that comes with the real human body. That's like the only thing that you can earn that you really can't buy. I mean, you can buy a trainer and everything, but it still doesn't, trainer still doesn't do the work for you. You have to do it on your own, and I think having a fit body is something that shows discipline.
I see a lot of people out here selling magic pills on their videos, and you know, you have to think about what are the side effects. Most of these things don't work at all. The only way you're going to do it is blood, sweat, and tears. Basically, you're going to have to get in here. You're going to have to do it. But anyways, yeah, business is down. A lot of the businesses around here complaining. A lot of the cities are seeing less tax revenue. We talked about this before. What can we do to, I mean, obviously get out there and make more money? What, you gave some great advice before. What would you say today as people are losing jobs, as they're losing their hours, as things get more expensive? What are some words? I mean, you're a hustler big time.
Just like start with common sense, man. I mean, if you have a bunch of junk, start selling junk on eBay. That start from there. Start with what's in your house that you don't need, and then, you know, start finding ways to make extra income. I mean, and you can't just, unfortunately, you can't just get a minimum wage job and work 40 hours a week and be good. That's just not how it works. You have to have, you have to be your own boss so you can make your own money, pretty much. That's my opinion on it, because you have a limit. You know, you're pretty much limit. Like, let's say you get a job at the grocery store. You already know the max limit is the manager, and that's the most you're going to make, and probably not going to be enough for you to get your goals done.
Yeah,
so I recommend getting your own job with something that you're good at. Like a trade, you know, like people that do welding, people that know boxing, for example, me, people that cut hair, people that are mechanics. Those kind of jobs, you can just kind of make your own price and make your own money. Because I know mechanics make a lot of money if they own their shop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And vice versa for any other kind of job. You know, trainers make $15 an hour at Gold's Gym, but if they're their own trainer, they make $70, $80 an hour. You just got to be your own boss.
And I think you would agree. We got to really watch the spending. People are still living way beyond their means. They're spending way more than they can afford. They're slapping it all down on credit cards at 23 to 30%, and that stuff is going to come back and bite these people. And by the way, stock market at all-time highs. Friday's numbers exploding. So the 1% are truly getting wealthier, while the rest of everybody else is being decimated. You know, stock market at all-time highs. The Dow Jones absolutely exploding on Friday. But is it making your life any better? When you got home Friday and went to the grocery store, did you see things getting cheaper? They told us that inflation went down. GDP was shockingly up 2.8%. Why? Because the government is spending all the money that's being added onto the GDP. But is your life changing with all the good news out there? I can tell you right now, I go to the grocery store, it's always getting more expensive. And I think things are going to continue to get more expensive. We went to the Agua Caliente gas station the other day. I mean, we literally almost got in a fight getting out of the place because there were so many cars for people to save 25 cents a gallon. But everything's great. Everything's great. So, you know, people still on social media showing us what they had for dinner last night, showing us the $25 cocktails at Mastro's, their weekend vacation.
That's their whole month right there.
That's their whole month, and slapping out a credit card after a credit card. So don't be deceived with what you're seeing out there.
It's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, people are leasing the cars, they're slapping the dinners on credit cards, they're still taking vacations on credit cards, they're going deeper into debt. They have nothing. They do. Well, they have something. They have a lot of debt. They have a lot of debt. Anything, by the way, as we close, I see spiritual warfare on the horizon now, everywhere. Why don't you take a minute, talk about that, because everything is tying into spiritual warfare
demonic
now.
Entities, yeah, everything's tying into demonic entities, spiritual wickedness in high places. I mean, look what's going on. I see the most heinous crimes now on TV. I always see little kids getting murdered. It's always like the big thing now. Little kids getting murdered. People are dropping dead from cardiac arrest everywhere, from poisons that they put in our stuff. You know, I can't say the word, but there's just so many things. They're attacking us at our health. They're attacking us emotionally. They're attacking us physically. They're attacking us sexually with all the sick stuff they put on TV, and everything's sexualized. You're distracted by everything. You're distracted by everything that gives
every
pleasure
kid's on their phone
to the flesh.
18 hours a
day. If it gives the flesh pleasure, best believe it's distracted, and it's up there for you, whether it's your TV, your iPhone, your iPad, what you buy at the store, the logos, everything. Everything is demonic.
Hollywood to the music industry to the politicians in Washington, you name it, it is everywhere. They truly believe in God. They would not be doing what they do if they didn't believe in God. They believe in God more than most Christians, actually, but their God is Satan.
Yeah.
But with what you see happening in these wars, as Lionel said, the heinous crimes. I mean, 90-year-old women being attacked, kids being attacked, thrown in front of buses and trains, and stabbed, and it's absolutely demonic what's going on. If you cannot see that, then I really feel sorry for you, because you're going to be a victim of all this. So I think we'll leave it there today.
Yes,
comment down below on anything you want to comment on. All I can say is, this is not a one-dimensional game anymore. It is multi-dimensional. You got to get your body in shape, your mind, your finances, and your spirit all in shape right now, because this spiritual warfare, this demonic warfare that is taking place right now, is coming after you. And if you're not prepared to defend against it, or fight it, you will be a victim of it. And we're going to see, I think, biblical events take place in our lifetime in the beginning right now. So make sure that you are all preparing. God bless.
God bless you.